all those bags of processed foods are so high in salt and in fat, and that's what makes them so exciting for all of us, to just indulge ourselves. But, people with hypertension, that's blood pressure, and people with cardiac disease, this is a red flag. When we are stressed, we don't really realize what we're eating, and it's so important that you choose the right foods. It's not every day that you're most probably, if you have diabetes, you're checking your blood sugar a couple of times a week or maybe even every day, which is what's recommended. But however, if you have blood pressure and you have cardiac conditions, it's not a test that you run on a regular basis. So of course, if you can check your BP every day, it'll be super. Hence, make the right choices in terms of food. Choose fresh, unprocessed, whole foods. You can indulge yourself, but indulge yourself in home-cooked food, that's good for health. Keep that extra salt away. Keep that bakery away. Your breads, your biscuits, keep that pickle away. Ensure that you're cooking and eating in the right way, using the right amount and type of oil, keeping your heart healthy. I think that's so super crucial during these times, especially now that you're home and your activity is limited. And like we discussed, it's so easy to put on weight when you're just sitting at home and eating due to stress and concern. Dr. Sid, would you want to talk to us about, what kind of activities do you suggest, or do we suggest at Wellthy for patients who, especially now that they're at home and, they really can't step out, neither to go to the pool to swim or to the gym or maybe even a walk? What do you suggest that can be done by people with diabetes and hypertension or maybe cardiac disease at home?
Sure, Pranoti. So there are a couple of different hacks that we suggest to our patients here. One of the hacks is wake up in the morning and set a stretching routine. So if you have set a time frame from, let's say, 9 to 9:15, make sure you adhere to that time frame from 9 to 9:15 and practice some easy stretching exercises. There are lunges, there are squat walks, there are jumping jacks. These are very easy exercises that you can do on the spot. You don't require a lot of equipment for this. Every time you get a phone call, and this is going to happen a lot, given the scenario, you're going to be at home, you're going to be calling your loved ones that are probably in the same city, probably in other cities. This is the time to connect. So every time you pick up the phone, start walking. So this will increase the amount of activity that you do during the day. Also, at the end of the day, make sure that you have a limit set for yourself. Usually Android phones and iOS phones have a step tracking ability built in them. If you do not have an activity tracking device like a MI watch or iPhone, Apple watch, your phone is your activity tracking. So keep your phone on you all the time, and at the end of the day, make sure that you have hit a target that you have set for yourself. Each one's target might be different. We recommend anywhere from 30 minutes of activity as also recommended by the ADA, or you can convert that into steps, which roughly comes around 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day.
There's a lot of conversation around social isolation, so social distancing, and I know that everybody is now holed up at home. Can you kind of throw some light, Dr. Abhijit, as to why do you think this is so crucial to control the spread?
Social distancing to implement is a difficult ask because we usually are so used to stepping out of the house for work or otherwise. We can stay indoors for most parts of the day and avoid contact with people who probably have the disease, or if you yourself have it, you would not be going out and spreading it further. We need to take this very seriously because this is the only way we'll be able to get ahead of the disease and stop its spread.
Yes, so this is just not for you. This is something that you are doing for everyone within your community, your society, and your country. I think because this is a communicable disease, Dr. Abhijit, it's so crucial, like you rightly pointed out, that we maintain minimum contact with others and social distancing, social isolation is super crucial to be able to ensure that the spread is controlled, and like you said, stay ahead of the disease. I think some of these hacks are really, really important, considering that today we don't have a treatment specifically for this. And in a country like ours, where the density of population is really high, taken some of these measures will really, really help us manage the spread. Shilpa, you talked about stress management, and people are at home. This is an opportunity where your kids are at home. People are either working from home or they're probably just relaxing at home. Do you have any suggestions on how this isolation in your own home, in that sense, can be used as an opportunity to manage stress?
Well, in today's day and age, most of us spend most of the time outside home not with family, with colleagues, or we are at work or whatever. So I think just the whole idea of being holed up in your house, with no contacts, physical contact with society outside is pretty stressful as such. I think this is a time when I think we should go back to our roots, probably behave as we were behaving maybe 50 years back, where you're doing things together in the house. Maybe, this is a good time for family to get together and make a nice dish for themselves, which is not again which is a good thing if you're looking at as immunity booster. But good time where to catch up together, play board games, or maybe do things at home, sit together and chat, which you have not done. And I think this is also a very important part where you could maybe introspect, maybe meditate. I think these things are very important in stress management. So rather than worrying about what is happening outside, this is a good time to catch up with your family, within yourself. Like Dr. Sid said, maybe call up friends whom you have not spoken. And I also think this is a good time to introspect, meditate, take care of yourself.
Right. I think this is so important. Like you rightly said, honestly, in this time and age, we are so busy with our lives that we really don't get a chance to catch up in the real sense of the word. So yes, all of you who are listening, I think this is a super opportunity. Sit down, come together, talk, do things together, in the real sense of the word, spend quality time. You can see a lot of people, who are coming together and, maybe cooking something, probably, just playing a game together, playing cards together, doing video calls with relatives, relatives you haven't spoken to in such a while and who are close to you. I think this is a super opportunity. Let's look at all of this, as a silver lining to be able to do things we haven't done. And Shilpa, we've been getting questions around, we talked about how we should be having immunity building foods. And we also talked about, how eating fresh foods is so important and much more useful than probably going for supplements. But we also have patients who say that, will eating all the fresh fruits, vegetables, and all the immunity building foods today, will that really have an immediate impact, or it's a long-term impact, and that's not something that can really help today to fight the COVID-19 infection?
Yeah, so it's a great question, but understand, yes, if you eat something healthy today, it's definitely not going to impact you tomorrow. But remember that these infections are long-standing. So we have seen the spread of infection happening since probably December, and now we are right in mid-March. And we know definitely for 15 days we are in lockout. So this is a long haul. This is not something for a week or 10 days. And hence, I highly encourage everybody to eat healthy, because immunity is needed all the time. It's not just in this time. This time you need a lot of immunity, but it's not that once this issue passes away, we do not need immunity. So these are long-term problems. These are some things that require you to build up yourself over a longer period of time. So maybe having vitamin C rich food is not going to impact today, but over a longer period of time, it's definitely going to help you. So the advice is to keep choosing better kind of food all the time, either to maintain your metabolic profiles and control. And if you do not have a metabolic issue, then just keeping yourself healthy and having good immunity all the time.
Right. And like you rightly said, this is not about today, and the steps you're taking today are for a healthier tomorrow. And, today we're dealing with coronavirus, but tomorrow we could be, even as in personalized health conditions. We could have our own set of health issues. So eating healthy is going to help us manage those conditions as well. So I think fair point, and that's something that all of us, all the viewers need to make a note of, that eat healthy today for a healthier tomorrow.